What's good everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys. Before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. And we're starting off first here with some Fire Emblem Engage. We got some brand new footage and also information on some of the main characters you'll be able to play as in the strategy RPG. So Alfred, he is a noble that is on horseback and wields a spear. And remember guys, in this game, you're going to have multiple characters, not just Alir, the main character, that can use the emblem rings to combine with the previous heroes. So we did see that in the initial debut trailer that Alfred was combining with Sigurd as well. So I think that's going to be pretty cool to explore. But one thing that kind of stands out in this video is once again how clean the game is looking. The graphics are simplistic but also very nice, not quite as muddied as Fire Emblem Three Houses right off the back. I think that with Gust, it seems, right, the rumors out there saying that it seems like Gust was helping out with the graphics in this game, in addition to Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo, they own Gust, their division within them, so this all makes sense completely based on how this looks compared to like an Atelier game or even Fire Emblem Heroes. I think that they were trying to take a bit of inspiration from the more brighter and kind of colorful toned games or RPGs out there. So I'm loving what I'm seeing here with this first one. Now next up we have another character. Her name is Celine, and she is also a noble just like Alfred, and she is proficient in magic and can also wield a sword as well. And we're seeing some more new gameplay footage as well. Now her dress is a bit extra and everything, but overall I think that she's going to be a cool character. Some of the things that the Fire Emblem games do really well is that characters that you initially see or you think that are kind of basic or not very cool at all, sometimes they end up being the most interesting characters out there. So I think this could be it with her as well. But I'm just happy to see Fire Emblem back with a singular focus. You know, Three Houses was great. I love the fact that they had so much content packed into there, but it was a bit daunting. I think that Fire Emblem Engage takes things down to the basics when it comes to Fire Emblem, almost like when they kind of rebooted the series with Fire Emblem Awakening, and kind of adds on top of that that nice little sprinkle of Fire Emblem Heroes, some of the stuff that people love about that game, being able to use past heroes but without the gacha, without the microtransactions, without all the other mobile stuff that you typically see, but get that in a typical or regular Fire Emblem game. So I think that this is going to be very exciting to kind of see how Fire Emblem Engage really kind of connects with the fans and what else you're able to do, because they really haven't shown too much of some of the extra combat stuff. We've seen the stats, we've seen the emblem rings, we've seen the engaging, we've seen some of like the transformations that you can do. There's some great stuff here, but I feel that there is a lot more for them to reveal, because if you go back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, that game had a lot of extra things that you can do and other stuff that was unlocked and things that Nintendo didn't even talk about when it comes to before the game came out, even in their Nintendo Direct on Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I feel that there's going to be a lot more new information and mechanics that come out about this game leading up to launch, because it's going to be here before we know it. We're already in October as of the time that I'm recording this video, and this game comes out in January. So this year is going to be done, then January is going to be right up, and Fire Emblem Engage is going to be right there on January 20th. So what do you guys think about this brand new gameplay footage for Fire Emblem Engage, showing off these characters and of course the new graphics and some of the combat? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next topic here, it seems like Atlus fans are definitely a bit upset about some of the most recent news, but it's also still good news for those that are looking forward to Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden on all platforms. So Persona 3 Portable will launch digitally for the Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam and Microsoft Store, and Persona 4 Golden for Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Microsoft Store on January 19th, 2020. Atlus announced both titles will also be available via Xbox Game Pass. Now, in this year, Atlus released a brand new key visual featuring all three remastered Persona titles, including Persona 5 Royal, which is launching on October 21st this year on all the platforms aforementioned. So the controversy here, or the issue, is because Atlus actually had this announced as their last of the Persona 25th anniversary. So this was the last thing, like the secret, right, of an already announced thing. So kind of people were saying Atlas pulled an Atlas here, where announcement of an announcement of announcements coming with more announcements. I mean, I think that it is a little bit lame that Atlas would make this the final announcement when we already knew that it was coming out early next year, and then they just gave us an exact release date. People felt that there might be a tease for Persona 6 or something else, but at the same time, I mean, Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden, these are all really good games, and I think it's very interesting that this game is coming out one day before Fire Emblem Engage. So Fire Emblem Engage will be a Friday and this will be a Thursday. So I'll just say, RPG fans, we are eating plenty, because that's probably going to be 3 games that you could put 100 hours into, or definitely 50 hours plus into when it comes down to it. Heck, Persona 4 Golden, I mean, I put so many hours into that game. So I think that this is great. This is great for RPG fans. Obviously, the beginning of the year, next year, is packed with RPGs between Fire Emblem Engage and also Persona 3, Persona 4. Plus, the following month, we've got Octopath Traveler 2, which is coming out in February. So there's a lot to already look forward to, in addition to a bunch of great games that are already coming out now at this point, with Nier Automata that recently launched on the Nintendo Switch, plus Persona 5 Royal on all the different platforms, Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope as well, Bayonetta 3, plus there's a bunch of other games on Xbox and PlayStation for gamers to get excited about. So overall, this is all really good stuff that's going on here. And I'll be completely honest here, guys, when it comes down to it, I'm super excited to play these games portably on the Nintendo Switch. I feel that Persona games, Shin Megami Tensei games, they play really great portably. I mean, I really love to play Persona 3 Portable on my PSP, and also Persona 4 Golden on my OLED Vita back in the day before they switched out the Vita screens. So to be able to get that experience of having an OLED and portable, and I feel for me with the Nintendo Switch OLED, that's going to be like the supreme experience that I can't wait to play, because these games, like I said, take a long time to beat. I think that it's cool that they're going to be around for people to be able to play on all these different systems, but man, it's going to be really hyped to be able to play it on the Nintendo Switch, considering kind of how I played the games beforehand on the PSP and also on the Vita OLED model of that, and now we have the Switch OLED. So good stuff there, but I can understand the fans' pains and I can understand kind of where they're coming from. But I didn't expect Persona 6 to be teased. I didn't expect Atlas to talk about that, because I think that it's way too early. I think that Persona 6, wherever it's being made or whatever's happening, it's going to be a while before they even show that off. I think that they're still trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do with this game, if it's going to be cross-gen or not, what they're going to go with Nintendo Switch or the next Switch system. There's a lot of things for Atlas and Sega to ponder, especially with the changing dynamics of what people are actually buying when it comes to RPGs traditionally on PlayStation compared to Nintendo Switch, the sales of what's going on right now. The market when Persona 5 came out and what people were buying is almost completely different in terms of sales numbers and just the shift of things. Nintendo back then obviously wasn't quite doing as well when it comes to home consoles and also RPGs. The Wii U was kind of the thing, and the Switch kind of came into it. So there's a lot to consider for Atlas going forward. So I didn't think they're going to tease or talk about anything Persona 6 at this point. I think that's going to come within the next year or two, but we're going to have to wait and see on that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, still just kind of pondering what they're going to do. But in the meantime, we've got Persona 5, Persona 3, and Persona 4, which people have been asking for quite some time. So that's good all around. But what do you guys think about this when it comes to Persona 3 and Persona 4 coming on January 19th, 2023? So not too much longer here. Do you feel that you were bamboozled out of the last announcement for the Persona 25th anniversary? But what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got some announcements when it comes to Trinity Trigger, the Secret of Mana old school styled RPG that's set for release on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 early next year. So publisher Xseed Games has announced the day one edition for Trinity Trigger, which will be available at participating retailers in North America at launch. Now, this is a really nice day one edition. I like the long kind of like landscape boxes. I love when they do stuff like that. I remember my Xenoblade Chronicles X Special Edition was like that. So Trinity Trigger will be available digitally for $49.99 for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch, and physically via the Day 1 edition for all three platforms for $59.99. Now, the Day 1 edition does include a 5.25 by 7.25 inches softcover art book containing over 100 pages of game artwork from artists Yuki N and Raita K, and 2-disc soundtrack featuring the game score by composer Hiroki K, all packaged with the game in a custom box. Awesome stuff there. Now, if you don't know what Trinity Trigger is about, well, gear up for all of my old school Secret of Mana fans, old school Breath of Fire RPGs like that from the 90s. This game tries to kind of harness that spirit and bring it back with a new coat of paint, and it has people that have worked on Xenoblade and Secret of Mana and a lot of these old school Japanese RPGs. So Trinity Trigger is an all-new action role-playing game combining the look and feel of the iconic RPGs of the 90s with an emphasis on fast-paced, customizable combat. Players take control of 3 young heroes as they attempt to defy fate and save the continent of Trinity. Accompanying them are triggers, strange creatures with the unique ability to transform into 8 types of weapons that players must master if they hope to be successful on their quest. Whether playing alone or with up to 2 friends via local co-op, explore diverse biomes and dungeons, strategize to exploit enemy weaknesses, and change your destiny. Developed by Furyu and published in North America by Xseed Games, Trinity Trigger is scheduled for release on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 in spring 2023. More details, including how to pre-order, will be made available at a future time. The game will also be published in Europe by Marvelous Europe. So very good stuff here, and I think that one of my favorite features with this game is the fact that there is local co-op. Now, I don't have anybody to play it locally with because my wife doesn't necessarily like these type of games, but I'm going to try to force her to play this with me because I need someone to play this game to test out the local co-op. And it reminds me so much of back in the day when I used to play these type of games like Secret of Mana with my brother, or at least I would sit around and watch him play certain types of games and the old school Japanese RPGs that made me really enjoy and love the franchise as much as I do now. Like, these games made a lasting impact on me and has affected even what I'm doing now to this day, decades later. So to see a developer kind of come out and try to make this style of game makes me incredibly happy for this. And this Day 1 edition looks really cool. I think that they're doing some nice stuff with it. Might be a little bit of a tall buy for some people when it comes down to the $60 price tag, but you can also look at it as this is usually a special edition when it comes with all this different type of stuff, but you're getting it for the regular price of a game. So pretty cool all around. I think that this game is going to be solid. It's already out in Japan, so some people have already played it. I mean, there are some mixed results on it, but generally speaking, people think that it's a solid little action RPG that does a great job of reminding you of Secret of Mana and those old school RPGs, Secret of Evermore, stuff like that Square Enix was doing. Some of the gameplay and the features that really kind of take you back to that time period. So I'm all down for it. So what are your thoughts, guys, on everything that we discussed here, from Fire Emblem Engage to Persona and what's going on there, and also Trinity Trigger? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.